Today, we will use a scientific perspective to explore the complex truth behind meteorological events. According to the latest news from the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation news website, a dangerous Arctic air mass is spreading eastward, sweeping parts of British Columbia, Canada, and all of Alberta and Saskatchewan. Most of Manitoba, including the city of Winnipeg, is currently under an extreme cold warning, according to Environment Canada. Parts of western Manitoba are bracing for extremely cold temperatures. Environment Canada issued an extreme cold warning for more areas of the province on Saturday. The extreme cold, combined with winds of 15 to 30 kilometers an hour, will cause temperatures to drop to -40 degrees Celsius to -55 degrees Celsius across much of the southern half of the province, the weather agency said. The coldest place has exceeded -60 degrees Celsius, completely breaking the lowest temperature record. These conditions are expected to continue into early next week. Environment Canada warns that with such dangerous wind chill values, exposed skin can develop frostbite within minutes. Thank you for liking, leaving comments, subscribing and turning on the little bell. We will update every day. Meanwhile, Environment Canada said Saturday that Churchill and York regions are now under a blizzard warning. Heavy snow with poor visibility and blowing snow with wind gusts of 70 to 80 kilometers per hour are expected in these areas from Sunday afternoon until Monday night or Tuesday morning. Visibility may drop to near zero, and Environment Canada advises against travel in the area. Several Manitoba departments have closed schools, and home care and other services may be disrupted by Thursday's snowstorm. A snowfall warning is also in effect for the Westman area, with up to 20 centimeters expected to fall in the afternoon. Some areas around Riding Mountain National Park could get closer to 30 centimeters. Parts of the north are also under extreme cold warnings. Lynn Lake, Leaf Rapids, Pukatawagan, Brochet and other areas in northern Manitoba could feel cold as low as -45 degrees and -50 degrees. Canada is located in the northern part of the North American continent and has a temperate continental climate, with cold and dry winters and warm and humid summers. It is close to the Arctic Circle. Winter can last 6 to 8 months, and snowstorms occur frequently in Canada. The reasons are complicated. First of all, it is affected by Canada's topography. Most of Canada is composed of plains and plateaus. There are no natural barriers like mountains, so the cold air from the Arctic can flow southward without any hindrance. At the same time, there are Rocky Mountains in the east and Rocky Mountains in the west. These mountains can gather and rise water vapor, which is conducive to the occurrence of snowstorms. Secondly, it is affected by ocean currents and air masses. Eastern Canada is close to the Atlantic Ocean, and the cold Labrador Current flows south from the Arctic. Cold air from Siberia can also travel south and encounter warm and humid air, causing severe convection and precipitation. Warm, moist air from the Pacific Ocean has a similar effect as it passes over the Rocky Mountains. These can lead to snowstorms. At the same time, Canada spans a large area from east to west, and different regions have different climate systems. The east is affected by air masses from the Atlantic Ocean, and the central and western regions are greatly affected by the Arctic region and the Pacific Ocean. Air masses interact frequently between regions, making snowstorms more likely to occur. More importantly, the polar night in Canada's high latitudes lasts for several months in winter. The heating effect of direct sunlight is very weak and cannot well suppress the violent interaction between air masses. Therefore, winter snowstorms are common. What cannot be ignored is that as the climate warms, polar cold air may shift to mid and low latitudes. Canada may experience more cold waves and extreme weather, and snowstorms will become more frequent. When encountering blizzard weather, in order to ensure personal safety, it is necessary to take timely avoidance measures. First of all, make preparations before traveling. Pay attention to the weather forecast, understand the fresh snow situation, plan the route in advance, ensure that the car has enough gas, and prepare cold protection and emergency supplies, such as winter coats, down jackets, blankets, snow brushes, and small shovels, anti-slip blanket, etc. Secondly, when traveling by car, be sure not to go out in windy or snowy weather. If you can stay at home, don't take risks. If a vehicle is already driving outside, you should reduce the speed, maintain a safe distance from the vehicle in front, avoid sudden braking, and pay attention to maintaining the stability of wheel steering. If you are in danger, you can stop on the side of the road and turn on your emergency lights to seek help. At the same time, you should wear moisture-proof and non-slip shoes when walking, avoid running or turning suddenly on icy roads, keep your body's center of gravity down, swing your hands in a small range, and walk slowly in small steps. If there is a heavy snowstorm, try to take shelter in a building as close as possible. More importantly, while at home, you should close doors and windows, reinforce temporary scaffolding, secure outdoor loose items. Take basic safeguards such as power supply, heating, and water supply, and stock up on certain daily necessities to prevent long-term isolation. In addition, you should be extra careful when using electrical appliances and fire to avoid secondary disasters caused by fire. In the event of a fire or building collapse, call the emergency hotline immediately for assistance. It is worth mentioning that if visibility is severely affected by violent storms and snow, do not go out for activities without authorization to avoid getting lost and freezing. Even if you go out, do not act alone. You should keep in touch with others and report your location regularly to avoid accidents. What cannot be ignored is that in areas with high avalanche risks, avoid staying in residential buildings built near mountains or with structural damage, and pay attention to identifying avalanche warning signs and evacuate immediately once signs of an avalanche are found. Globally, blizzard weather mainly occurs in areas with several geographical features. The first is high latitudes. These areas, such as Canada in North America, the plains of Eastern Europe in Russia, and the Mongolian Plateau in East Asia, have higher latitudes, obvious polar night effects in winter, extremely low temperatures, and heavy snowfalls that can last for days and weeks. These high-latitude areas have long winters and heavy snowfalls are more likely to occur, followed by inland areas. In the hinterland of the continent far away from the influence of the ocean, such as Central Asia, southern Siberia, and the Great Plains of North America, the climate type is a severe cold continental climate, with obvious differences in winter warmth. The cold air flowing out from the polar regions travels south and meets the warm and humid air, making it easy for blizzards to occur. What is more serious is the mountainous and hilly areas. Plateau and mountain areas, such as the Rocky Mountains and Appalachian Mountains in North America, the Altai Mountains and the Siberian Mountains in North Asia, have high altitudes and strong rising air movements, which are conducive to the formation of snow clouds and frequent blizzards. In addition, it can occur in areas with frequent air mass activity. In these areas, the exchange of cold and warm air is intense, and the temperature difference drives the airflow to produce turbulence and vortices, which are often accompanied by intense emissions from the underlying surface, inducing strong convection systems and making heavy snowfalls more likely. What cannot be ignored are the mountains in the subtropical region. In autumn and winter, the warm and humid airflow in the subtropical region can move northward and encounter uplift in the mountains, causing heavy snowfall. This situation occurs in the southern foothills of the Himalayas, the Pamir Plateau, and the Vulcan Mountains. Of note are the coastal areas of the continental margin. In these areas, polar oceanic cold air occasionally travels south to meet warm and humid air in winter, causing heavy snowfalls. Typical examples include the east coast of East Asia and the coast of Japan. Generally speaking, blizzard weather can cause a variety of secondary disasters. First of all, icy roads and heavy snow during blizzards can lead to frequent accidents on all types of transportation. It is easy for a car to lose control and skid on an icy slide, colliding with other vehicles. The visibility is extremely low and it is easy to deviate from the driving lane and collide head-on with an oncoming vehicle. The driver's vision is limited, making it difficult to spot pedestrians, leading to a car accident. In addition, it may also collide with the three-dimensional collision at crossing facility. These accidents can cause varying degrees of casualties and, in severe cases, multiple deaths. Paralysis of the transportation system will also hinder rescue and further increase the loss of life. Secondly, heavy snow can accumulate a large amount of snow on structures such as roofs, balconies, and suspended ceilings of buildings, far exceeding the safe load of the building design. When the heavy snow or water seeps after melting, it can easily destroy the overall structural stability of the building and cause the roof or suspended ceiling to collapse. Collapsed objects can crush or even kill people inside the building. In addition, the suspended ceiling attached to the wall and the main structure or truss may fall off as a whole due to weight drag. At the same time, the rising airflow in strong convective cloud systems can quickly bring cloud water droplets to high altitudes to freeze, forming larger diameter hail particles. These hailstones are subsequently precipitated with high falling speed and destructive kinetic energy. It can cause serious damage to field crops, damage vegetation, leaves and fruits, dent vehicle roofs and break glass, building windows. Doors and verandas can also be damaged. Individual larger hailstones can even cause casualties. What cannot be ignored is that a large amount of wet snow accumulates in the crown and trunk, which can cause the tree to withstand tensile forces exceeding its tensile strength. The crown will deflect to one side and drag the trunk, eventually causing the trunk to break and fall to one side. And sometimes even the roots of the tree will be bent. Pull up. Fallen trees can damage surrounding buildings, vehicles, and electrical facilities. Fallen trees in urban areas that block traffic arteries will also have a greater impact. It is worth mentioning that the snow water formed by melting snowstorms can penetrate into potentially unstable slopes, causing many adverse effects on the physical and mechanical properties of the slope, reducing the slope's anti-sliding force, and ultimately releasing the potential energy of the mountain, leading to rupture along the top or base. Landslide occurred. The size of landslides can range from tens of cubic meters to tens of millions of cubic meters. Large landslides can form high-speed and long-distance debris flows, causing serious disasters to downstream areas. What's more important is that during heavy snowfalls, power supply lines are prone to breakage due to heavy snow or falling trees and broken wires, causing power outages. Water and gas pipelines may also rupture due to excessive snow pressure. These accidents are difficult to repair quickly in bad weather and can cause considerable disruption and inconvenience. It deserves special attention that blizzard weather can cause a series of interruptions in public services and commercial activities, such as the closure of kindergartens and schools, the closure of government agencies and shopping malls, catering restrictions, and the suspension of urban public transportation systems, etc., which will bring huge disruption to the normal work and life of residents. Trouble will also have a negative impact on business operations and development. This requires working from home, online teaching, home entertainment, order delivery, and other means to minimize the inconvenience of life. In addition, people and vehicles going out for activities in blizzard weather are prone to accidents, such as falling and being injured on icy roads, being injured in collisions with other vehicles, being hit by vehicles on streets with low visibility, etc. Livestock and poultry are also prone to frostbite and death in heavy snowstorms and lack of food and water. These human and animal casualties further aggravated the severity of the snowstorm disaster. What you need to be especially careful about is that in blizzard conditions with extremely low visibility, once a fire, explosion, or other accident occurs, it will be more difficult to detect and put out the fire in time. Even if the accident is reported in time, it is difficult for the fire and emergency departments to rush to the accident scene quickly to carry out rescue. These secondary disasters may cause more serious consequences. In fact, some means and measures are very important to prevent snowstorms. First, we need to strengthen meteorological monitoring and early warning. It mainly starts from improving the accuracy of observation equipment, establishing precise numerical models, setting up redundant equipment, and expanding early warning release channels. It is necessary to enhance the monitoring and simulation capabilities of cloud system development. Movement speed and direction, precipitation intensity, and other parameters shorten the forecast time and distance scale, and quickly and effectively convey early warning information to emergency management departments, news media, and the general public. Secondly, we must plan a scientific urban disaster prevention system. The focus is to improve the wind and snow resistance of pipeline power facilities and adopt burying and isolation measures to reinforce important buildings, especially sports venues and activity centers, to increase the structural wind resistance, and to formulate complete medical rescue and rescue measures for different extreme weather conditions. Traffic diversion and other emergency plans. In addition, road maintenance should be done well. Equip high-efficiency snow removal equipment to ensure smooth traffic arteries. Use anti-freeze chemical reagents or special polymer materials to improve the anti-slip properties of roads. Set up obvious warning signs and protective railings to optimize de-icing operation time and improve anti-freeze response speed. At the same time, routine snow prevention training and drills should be carried out. More importantly, it is necessary to strengthen driving skills training and provide safe driving courses such as vehicle control and hazard avoidance under extreme weather conditions for the general public and professional drivers, and conduct theoretical training and simulated operation training to improve the response to complex weather. Ability. And implement traffic control during prone periods. At the same time, it is necessary to stock up on daily necessities in advance. Families and relevant departments must prepare food, beverages, medicines, oil, emergency tools, and other daily necessities in advance, and equip important equipment with backup power to ensure that normal work and life can be maintained for at least a week. What cannot be ignored is the need to formulate an emergency evacuation plan. In areas where blizzards are likely to occur, it is necessary to plan in advance safe evacuation sites. Route selection principles, division of tasks among family members, etc., and adopt appropriate forms of education and drills to ensure that the whole society is clear about their responsibilities and actions in emergencies. In order to cope with blizzard weather, some new technologies have emerged or have been stepped up research and development. The first is the application upgrade of high-precision weather forecast technology. Currently, cloud computing and big data technology are being actively used to build a multi-level, complete element, process-dimensional numerical forecasting system. From global-scale climate change trends to regional-scale nowcasting, a seamless connection in time and space has been achieved. Errors in observation and propagation are masked, and more accurate predictions can be made about the generation, duration, and movement direction of snowstorms. This provides reliable support for the disaster prevention department's decision-making. The second is the development of traffic control and guidance technology. High-definition video images are used to identify traffic density and movement trends, and AI intelligent analysis determines traffic conditions to achieve active guidance and control, such as automatically setting signs to remind speed limits. Traffic lights at important intersections can automatically adjust the green light duration according to traffic flow. Some road sections can be controlled remotely, implement odd and even number restrictions. The vehicle itself can also receive instructions to automatically drive to slow down and stop. This ensures traffic safety under snowstorms. In addition, it is the popularization of wind and snow protection technology for building structures. Use high-quality steel to increase joint strength and reduce cross-section. Rationally design the roof inclination angle and use flange partitions to reduce wind and snow accumulation. Real-time monitoring of roof load-bearing and displacement, and remote analysis of structural safety. These technical means make the building stable against wind and snow loads and ensure safe use. More importantly, the wind and snow protection technology of power grids and pipe networks has been further strengthened. Before the arrival of wind and snow, the controllable compressor increases the pressure inside the pipeline to reduce the risk of rupture. Wires and poles can be remotely heated to prevent freezing. The operating current of the line is detected in real time and can be quickly disconnected and reconnected in response to abnormal conditions. Power distribution terminals can be deployed in real time according to the load to ensure that important power consumption, such as heating and lighting, is not interrupted. The wind and snow resistance and self-healing capabilities of the power and pipeline network have been enhanced. What cannot be ignored is the improvement of road snow removal technology. The development and application of high-efficiency snow-melting salts and anti-freeze and anti-slip agents can quickly and effectively break down snow and ice on the road. The new rubber-tracked snow removal vehicle improves mobility and snow removal efficiency. The research and development of a multifunctional automatic snow removal vehicle with integrated shoveling and transportation can prevent and remove snow remotely, especially suitable for airport runway snow removal. These ensure the safety of key traffic arteries in extreme weather conditions. Thank you for liking, leaving a message, subscribing and turning on the little bell. We will update the latest news from around the world every day. Continue to use a scientific perspective to explore the complex truth behind meteorological events.